What's it like to drive on an active military base? It's not a question I think I would have had before this year, and I'm sure you wouldn't, but we're going to go ahead and show you our track guide for the Qualcomm circuit at San Diego's North Island Naval Base here for the RacingCockpits.com Pacific Cup final race of the season. So let's go check it out and make you fast. All right, so here's the breakdown. I'm gonna give you all your braking points, give you some insight on what you're feeling on the road, where to turn, what to look for, and it's gonna be a tricky one, but you've got it in you. I know you do. Again, as always, we set up on a corner or two before. That's gonna lead you into your flying lap. As always, racing is about being in rhythm. One corner leading into the next, unlocking that potential here. So you're gonna see I'm gonna come in tight to these water barriers here, kind of the same things you'd see on the freeway. I'm gonna set up this blind left-hand turn. It's gonna be a tricky one because if you carry too much speed, you're gonna exit right into the wall. So you're gonna play with the throttle a little bit. The driving line may suggest some brake. What I tend to do is give a little lift off of the throttle. I mean a little bit, and a little bit of a downshift to get that weight to go forward to help with that rotation. So you're going to see a little dip of the throttle, upshift to fourth, and then back onto the throttle to get our lap started here. Into turn one, I am looking for the two board. Just after is where I'm going to do my turn in. So right after you pass this dark colored navy sign is where you're going to start to do your turn. You're going to aim for the inside early apex on this corner here. You're going to get real close to that barrier. And it's going to be another blind turn. You're going to see I'm going to turn in, carry it tight, full commitment, 100% throttle, let the car go out to the edge of the track. And here's going to be a tricky section. The cars bounce. They do this in real life. I was able to go to the NASCAR event we had here and they all bounce through that section here. It's going to unsettle the car. Any rotation you have in your steering, any throttle input is going to give the opportunity to get that car out of line, spin it. I spun it in an official race last week. It's going to be very tricky. You'll see I kind of keep it more towards the middle of the road. That bump's more aggressive towards the outside here. It's going to be tricky at the start of the race because there's going to be 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide going through here. Your safest bet is to stick to that middle section there and wait for your opportunity. Braking is going to happen between the 2 and the 3 board. So somewhere in between those two is going to be where you're going to find your braking zone. And that's how you're going to set up turn one, up to 75, 80, almost 90% braking. I'm going to trail it all the way into this double yellow line here. And then what I'm going to do is lift off right at that, let the car rotate. As soon as I hit the apex, I'm going to be back on throttle, push through, get that exit out towards that wall. Turn 3 here, you're going to hit a bump. Now what I'm looking for is the little piece of wall that kind of jets out just after the 2 board, kind of right at where that new asphalt is, that black chunk of asphalt. You can see where they patched the course. That's going to be your braking marker. A little bit before that, brake less. A little bit after that, brake harder. But you're not going to want to be too much outside that braking zone to set up this crucial corner. And you're going to see a brake up to 60, 75%. Let that rotate nice and tight, and then 50, 60% throttle out to the exit, and I've got 100% through there. This is going to be another section. You're going to feel a bump through here. I've seen a few cars go pretty wide, but the problem with that is that part of the track gets dirty. A lot of tire marbles there. You're going to lose traction. It's going to be a tricky one, but you can kind of gain into the exit of this next corner, turn 4. There's a pretty significant bump here. You'll feel it in your steering and in the car. I'm looking for that as kind of my indicator to go through that corner and have like my good exit through there. You'll see I'm gonna let off throttle a little bit all the way, a little dab of brake to get rotation. And as I hit that bump right there, as soon as I hit that bump, I know I can be back on throttle when the car is pointed where it needs to be. You're looking at about 15, 20 degrees of steering angle. and you're gonna just let the car go 100%. It's gonna wash all the way out to the edge of the track there, and you're full throttle through this up to fifth. And then I am looking for the one board here again. Looking at an early turn in, tight through that apex is going to be crucial for carrying a lot of speed. 60, maybe 75% trail it in. Once I get to that apex, then I'm 100% throttle, letting the car wash out, exit towards the wall there. 100% throttle through here, another bumpy section of the track. This is going to be room for takeovers, room for fighting, but do be careful. It is tight through here. The car is going to get unsettled as you hit some of these bumps. So close racing can be done, but it's got to be done with some finesse. Between the 2 and 3 board was where I'm looking for my braking zone here for this turn 6-7 combination. Again, that black patch on the asphalt is a good indicator. You want to be braking before that. If you're braking at that, you probably be fine, but you want to give it more brake pressure. And anything later than that, you're going to have a hard time slowing the car. You're going to get overtaken there. 60, maybe 70% brake, down to second, trailing it all the way around, hugging that corner tight, hugging that apex tight, back on throttle, dip off throttle to get the other opposite rotation, and then back on, pushing the car 100% through this tight, narrow corridor here. Then we're going to make our way to turn 8. I'm looking for the 2 board. In between the 2 and the 1 board, you'll kind of see that there's a little bit of the fence that kind of jets out. That's what I'm looking for there to start my braking zone. See where it kind of just angles off. Shifting down to second, again, going in nice and tight through this apex here. Trailing, letting off for a second. Getting back on throttle, not 100%. I'm playing with the throttle here to get the car to rotate. A little bit of understeer, so I let off just a touch. Back on 100%. I'm looking for the 1 board. Braking, getting it to rotate, trailing 25-30% brake, getting the car to rotate around this apex here. As soon as I get to that wall, 60-75% throttle, and then smoothly pushing on as you come through here. And this section is going to feel weird. It's going to be bumpy. The car is going to be sliding. But the more commitment you give it, the more confidence you give it, the car will reward you and push you through this section. So I'm going to be 100% throttle through here in turn 9, 10, and 11. 100% tight through here, giving that confidence. Tight through there. 100% throttle through this. And here I'm looking for the 2 board to start braking. Just before the 2 board, you're kind of a little more than halfway between the 2 and the 3. Again, this is going to be another blind corner. There's going to be a lot of blind corners on this course that you're going to have to manage. That's where putting into practice, memorizing these sequence is going to be crucial for being successful on the Qualcomm circuit here in the RacingCockpits.com Pacific Cup. So you see I'm trailing, setting up off throttle, little blip of throttle, little dab of brake around the tire barrier, managing my throttle through here, setting up for this next left-hander, another dab of brake, and then off throttle, on throttle, push you there, managing the weight of the car, all to make sure you can come out with as much speed as possible. 100% through here, into turn 13, 14, 15. I'm giving a dab of brake just after the 1 board, kind of at the 1 board, just after. You're going to see that there, about 50% throttle just to get that rotation in. Let off, 3rd gear. As soon as I'm at the apex, 100% back on the throttle, getting it to push. It's going to slide out. I'm aiming to get it to swing out around to the right and then to the left. I'm going to come around this next blind corner into 15. A little dip of the throttle to help give it rotate, and then 100% back on, aiming the car nice and tight past this tire barrier here. That will break the car. You don't want to hit that. And then we are almost done. A couple more turns, sketchy chicane, and then we are done, and that is the lap. So here, I'm looking for the 2 board. I'm going to be braking down to 2nd gear, another blind corner. What I say, blind corners all over this thing. So braking 80, 90% throttle, downshifting in a second, trailing, trailing, trailing. I left a little early, a little bit more trail to get that rotation. Off throttle, let the car do its thing through there. You're gonna get back on throttle. Kind of when you're at this second tire barrier, about 75, maybe 80% throttle. You're gonna have to manage it with your car. Again, all about throttle management through here. As I exit through there, I'm back on 100%, pushing the car through these tight sections. Back around once again, past the pit lane, past the water barriers, little dip to rotate, upshift to help move that weight forward, across the finish line into a 159.9. Now that is the lap of the Qualcomm circuit that we're going to be running at the racingcockpits.com Pacific Hub. Last round of the 6-round race. It's been a fantastic season. I hope you've watched all our track guides so far, followed along with us, especially if you're racing with us. I want you all to get faster and competitive. If you didn't join us and you do sim race, either from home or from a center, join us next season. We're going to have something special, similar format, taking place just before sunset. It's going to be a fantastic race once again. This is going to be taking place tomorrow, the last race of the season, 7 p.m. Pacific time, on Twitch, on YouTube. Follow us, Camber and Caster, wherever you do your socializing. Follow our sponsors, our wonderful sponsors, racingcockpits.com, on all their socials, on their YouTube, on Instagram. We use their product before they sponsored our season. We have the racingcockpits.com Pro set up here in the shop. I love it. Our drivers love it. Our rentals love it. It's held up to some serious abuse. I've taken these things on off-site excursions, and they hold up flawlessly. Now, I can't say it's guaranteed to help you improve your lap times, but we get pretty fast here. So I'll leave you at that. Give us a follow, give us a comment, give us a like, and I hope this helps you get faster at the San Diego Qualcomm circuit. And when you go out on track, as always, you know how it goes. You're gonna have cold tires and cold brakes. You're gonna have to go and warm it up. We'll see you next time.